Hello, hello. Good morning from Los Angeles area. And I'm just going to give it maybe another minute before I jump in, give folks hopefully an opportunity to log in if you're attempting to join live today. This is day 2 movement. All right, I'll go ahead and get started. If you're just joining me, if you could just put your name or welcome in the comment box and where you're calling in from, that would be great. So I can know who's watching. That would be super helpful. I think I've got my technology worked out today. Awesome. All right. So while everyone gets settled, who are jumping in here, let me just again open by saying welcome to day 2, Jumpstart Your Healing Journey. And if you were unable to make it live yesterday, we did talk about diet, or I talked about diet. I obviously have the video posted on the site, so hopefully you can check it out. But today we're going to be talking about movement. And for those that I know, I work with a lot of clients who are actually in a lot of pain, and they have a lot of chronic inflammation. So I know that this is a topic that's kind of, a touchy subject for most, because they're like, yeah, that sounds great, but I'm in a lot of pain and can't really get a lot of exercise. So I think by joining today, you're going to see there's some other things that we can really focus on that's going to give us the movement that's going to help support the health. Okay, so again, thank you for showing up. Again, the whole premise of this 3-day event as well, just to give you some reminders, this is about taking baby steps. These are bite-sized actions that you can take to help really initiate action so you can start healing. This is not about perfection. This is just about taking action on small things that you feel you can take on, quite frankly. So let's go ahead and get into it. So what are we talking about here when we're thinking about movement? Again, we're talking about this theme of reducing our chronic inflammation. And one of the ways we can also do that is through movement. And there's a lot of science that suggests as well that, when we're really stressed out, which again, we talked a little bit yesterday around stress raising your blood sugar, which creates an inflammatory response when you have too much circulating. Well, if I'm using some sort of movement, deep breathing, these types of I'll call modalities, we can essentially see some of our chronic inflammation come down. So I also like to emphasize that there's number one reason that movement is so important. And movement is for life. Movement is about bringing oxygen into the body. And oxygen, quite interestingly enough, is critical actually for numerous functions in the body. Again, it's life, but specifically for the liver. And the liver is the main organ responsible for detoxification. So if we've got a lot of stuff floating around in our blood, free radicals, or, again, the bacteria or pathogens, things like that, we want to make sure that things are flowing and detoxifying and being eliminated out of the body or sweated out of our pores. Movement obviously is great because it builds muscles and it also supports bone strength or bone growth. But it also, we know, supports mental health. Obviously, we're all working from home. Sitting for 8 hours a day is just not natural. So we actually now more than ever need to make a concerted effort to get movement. And let me just kind of explain to you why that is. It's fascinating, quite frankly. So number one, movement supports one really important factor, and that's the lymphatic drainage. And so I'm providing this picture here because you can see that there's a lot of blue pathways, if you will, for lack of a better word, and that's the lymphatic system. And the main role of the lymphatic system is it actually is like a sanitation system. It collects all the toxins and the waste and the debris that's sitting outside of the cell, and it collects all that to help remove it out of the body for elimination. So that's really important, and it really helps the immune system to function, right? Because it's responsible for moving things out of the body. So it's going to help the immune system to do its job more efficiently. It also like carries the immune cells throughout the lymphatic system as well, so that they can seek out, destroy the pathogens or the virus or even our cancer cells. So you can see that the lymphatic system is pretty important when it comes to detoxification, but it's also invaluable because it carries the fat soluble vitamins into the cell. So another really important benefit. But the important part as well with the lymphatic system is it actually has no pump. Our blood circulates because the heart is pumping, but with the lymphatic drainage or lymphatic system, it requires muscle movement for it to function. So that's why you have to get up and move if you want things to be eliminated out of the body and for the lymphatic system to do its job. So movement is a critical component for making sure that we work well, our detox works well. Movement, again, draws oxygen into our blood, so our body and our blood. So we talk about bringing oxygen in. You know, the interesting thing is, for example, cancer is anaerobic, meaning that cancer thrives in the absence of oxygen. So the more oxygen we can bring in, you know, the better job we have with destroying the cancer cell. But again, that liver detox function is dependent on a high amount of oxygenated blood. So getting enough oxygen on a daily basis and deep breathing throughout the day even, or just getting some movement is really important. We also know a lot of science around this, of course, on the benefits of movement with stress as well as mood and anxiety. We know that movement can, you know, just this really can release the feel-good hormones. So our endorphins, serotonins, it can reduce our irritability. It can actually help to just calm the nerves, quite frankly. So, and it's a natural antidepressant. So we need movement. We also have another key benefit here, and especially if we're going through transition into perimenopause or menopause, we really need movement to support not only just the maintenance of our bone health, but also to support bone growth. So it doesn't require a lot. Just light weights is fine. That's, you know, we don't have to go crazy and think we're going to be, you know, we have to join some intense workout. We don't. Just some light strength training is also going to help to support bone growth. Okay, so these are some great simple benefits of why we must get up and move. So let's now just go right to the heart of it. What are some different ideas that we can all put into place to start thinking about ways that we will enjoy getting movement? And actually, someone said this to me, and I thought this was just a great way to emphasize exercise is the right exercise is the one you'll enjoy doing. And I thought, oh, how simple and brilliant is that? So what I've got here, just some lists, some different ideas, things that we probably don't even think about as deliberately getting exercise or movement. And you'll probably wonder, actually, I should say this, that I don't use the word exercise. In fact, I was a marathon runner, or, you know, half marathon runner. I was running 18 years. I was a avid weightlifter right up until the point I got diagnosed with cancer. And then even as I came out of my recovery, I was trying to get back into it and I really enjoyed it. But there's also things that we have to be mindful of. If we have an illness or a condition, we actually don't want to do harm to our body by creating so much oxidative stress that generates free radicals that the immune system cannot keep up, as we talked about yesterday, cannot keep up to put that fire out, especially if we have maybe a not so great diet yet, and we're still transitioning to get the right antioxidants and dark leafy greens and things introduced into our diet. So that's an important piece to mention. We're not talking about, an hour, especially if we have an illness or some sort of medical condition. And of course, we're in pain. So these are things that you can think about. Okay, rebounding. The words with asterisks, as you'll see, is actually really beneficial for the lymph system that we just talked about. Rebounding, which is that mini trampoline, and you're just jumping lightly. You can just feel things moving. Actually, I bought one. You can easily get them on Amazon, or they probably have them at Target or something as well, but they're just a mini trampoline, and you can make a point of just jumping lightly on it, let's say for 2 minutes on the hour. And that way you're getting things moving. Massage is also a great way, not only is it relaxing, but you're moving things around. I also like foam rolling. So especially after I had surgery with the mastectomy, one of the things that we had to do a lot was to open up the chest and get that movement, and just foam rolling and getting things moved in my lymphatic system, because also with all the medicines and whatnot, things become very stagnant. So another great way to get that movement, get things circulating. Light stretching is also something we often overlook. In fact, one of the women in my small group program that I had just about a month ago, she has fibromyalgia, and it was very painful to do anything. In fact, she would spend a lot of time laying down. And one thing that I encourage is you just start the light stretching. There are certain stretches you can do based on your condition. So I provided some resources to the ladies in the group as well. And one of them actually was doing them consistently. And not only did she build strength, but she started feeling better. So although it may be painful to get started, it really does start to diminish some of the pain that most women are having with, this fibromyalgia or even just other inflammatory conditions. Walking obviously is kind of a no-brainer. Jogging, I'm specifically saying jogging, not running. So, and I'm also putting a time fence on it to say up to 20 minutes. This goes back to the concept around oxidative stress. If we're already in kind of, again, a weakened state, that might be too hard on your body. So we don't want to create a lot of internal fire without making sure that we have the right diet, and we've got some detox functionality going. So that's another thing you can think about as you build more strength. Grounding is a fancy word for just saying, take your shoes and socks off like you did when you were a kid and just play outside in the grass. So it's a great stress release. And in fact, I laugh almost, because when we go outside on walks, my son and he'll see a big patch of grass. He's like, Mommy, I want to play in the grass. And it's almost like it's second nature to kids. And he immediately lays down and flops on the grass. And he's in this quite interestingly, this real meditative state. So there's energy, from the ground, and it really does heal, and it allows us to feel kind of alive and just like an electrical charge. Going outside in nature, obviously, that's another great way to just, get outside, get the fresh air, and just get some movement. Or gardening, or you could even be just dancing. I mean, again, it doesn't take a lot here. You just get your favorite song on and just start dancing. And then finally, light strength training. This again was part of the benefits of supporting bone growth. So you don't even need to do anything hard. It's just if you can have a resistance training, and it can just be your own body weight, quite frankly, with some bands. And again, there's plenty of resources online. I'm happy to send some to you as well if you'd like, based on your condition, just so that you can start building up some strength and supporting overall health. Okay, so lots of ideas here for you. And if any of these, right now kind of start sticking out, then I would say, okay, what is one idea that you can commit to starting this week? Okay, take one of those ideas and think, you know what, actually, I could do that. And then I would challenge you or help encourage you to commit to 3 to 4 times a week. You're going to do that exercise or that movement activity that you feel like, yeah, I want to do that. At least 15 minutes. You can build up to 15 minutes. You can build up to 3 to 4 times a week. But the point here is, find something that resonated with you that you think, yeah, you know what, I could, that I can do. And then decide, okay, do I have the right equipment? Do I need to, if I decide I want to do rebounding, okay, I need to get the right equipment. I need to get the right good pair of shoes, and then find some resources that are working for you. And if you need help, I'm happy to put some resources in the comment box for some different stretching or other tools or resources that you're seeking but not quite sure if this is right for you. So again, that's what I'm here for. I want to make it as less painful for you as possible, but we definitely got to get moving. So the other thing I would ask you, we're kind of a creature of habit, right? So one of the ways that I found that really help is getting up early and setting time aside for, whether it be my morning cup of coffee, my morning prayer or journaling, and then some morning exercise or morning movement. And that can be all done within your, if you already kind of earmark 45 minutes for yourself, if that's part of your morning routine, or this might be a way for you to jumpstart into a morning routine that allows you to get that done first thing in the morning. And then you can feel a little bit more productive the rest of the day. So I hope that these, again, my point here on these 3-day live coaching events is just to make it very simple, bite-sized ideas, get you thinking around things that resonate and that seem like, yeah, based on where I am right now, I can take this on. So choose just one. I'd love to hear what resonated with you today in the comment box. And if you're coming back in to do the replay, by all means, hashtag replay so I know that you did circle back. I'm here as your resource. So don't hesitate to reach out. And then for tomorrow, we are going to do day 3 detox, which is often overlooked. It's critical for our health, obviously, in light of all the toxins that we're exposed to. And it's a contributing factor for why we are getting so many illnesses, quite frankly. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for day 3 detox. It is the final day. And then as a reminder, I'll have all these slides posted at the end of Friday so that you can also grab those and rewatch the videos at your leisure. Okay? Here to serve you. If you need anything, just give me a shout. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.